Hello, beautiful souls. I've come to talk to you a bit about crystals today. First of all, I want to talk about two things that lots of people ask. And the first thing is, how do I know which crystal I want? Well, that's simple. You don't choose the crystal, even though you think you might. The crystal chooses you. Because, like us, crystals are energy, comprised of energy, and like us, our energy is attracted to different things. You're out somewhere and you meet somebody for the first time, you got an instant bond, or on the other hand, you might think, oh, no, I don't know that person and I don't feel like I want to. That's your energies interacting, and it's the same with crystals. Crystals give off energy, and so do we. So if we got a particular thing going on in our lives that we need fixing, it could be physical, it could be emotional, could be anything really, we're likely to be drawn to a crystal that can help us with that, because all crystals are healing crystals in some form or another. So basically the crystal chooses you. So the other question I get asked a lot is, how do I know crystals are real and they're not fakes? Because there are a lot of fakes about. If you sort of see a whacking great amethyst crystal for something like €5, bet your bottom dollar it's not amethyst. But you don't need the price guide, because as I said, as well as the energy. I mean, this is red jasper, tumblestone. As soon as I take that in my hand, I feel energy from that. Now, red jasper is to do with the root chakra, and it's a very sort of physical energy that you get from that. It gives you courage, strength, motivation, and straight away I got a little shot of adrenaline, if you like. I feel that energy. And then if I look at my rose quartz egg, rose quartz is very calming energy. It helps soothe anger, helps repair relationships. So I go to that rose quartz, and what I feel from that is calm, right? So that's your first way to tell. Now, say you go in the shop and they say, oh, no touching, you can't touch them, walk straight out of that shop, because you need to find your crystal that's compatible with your energy. The only way you can do that is to touch it. If they won't let you touch, go somewhere else. So the other way that you tell whether a crystal's real or not is appearance. No two crystals are going to look the same, whether they're natural crystals straight out of the earth or whether they've been polished, sculpted into shapes. They're still not going to look the same, because crystals, I say crystals are very like us in a lot of ways, and they absolutely are. And they like us in that you might have a family, like you might have family you like Caucasian, Asian, African, whatever. And you've all got similar characteristics. You've also got differences, because you're taller or shorter, or you got all sorts of differences in appearance. Even if you've got identical twins, there's going to be some differences there. And crystals are the same. So what I've got here, this is carnelian. I've got 3 pieces of natural carnelian straight out of the ground. So there's the first piece. If you look at that, quite a lot of white in that piece. Also some dark colours in it, some darker reds and oranges. And if we look at the next one, you got a big flash of white in that. So not such a spread of white through the crystal, but you got a concentrated area there. And then if we look at the third piece, well, this is completely different because there's a lot of white and very dark red, almost to black there, you can see that. And yet all those are carnelian. So then here we've got a polished carnelian heart. And again, that's very, very different to the others because it's been processed. You've got the same, if you sort of take it against that, you can see the same sort of shading. But yeah, so they're going to be different. I mean, I've got some amethyst points here, double terminated points, both amethyst, again, quite different. No way you could call those twins, could you? So yeah, so that's your 2 ways to tell whether they're real crystal, is by feeling them and feeling the energy and the appearance, that everyone should be different. So the next thing I want to talk about is size. Does size matter? Right, okay, stop sniggering at the back. That's not what we meant. We meant, does the size of the crystal matter? The answer to that is yes and no. In terms of the energy, each crystal's got its own particular energy that's native to it, if you like. Again, it's a bit like people, you know. I'm a native English speaker. I live in Spain. There are native Spanish speakers. Each of our languages has got you know, there's characteristics of the particular language. There's the same with the energy from the crystals. It's all healing energy, but it varies. But because that energy is part of the makeup of the crystal, it doesn't really matter whether it's a small crystal like that, that's a rose quartz terminated point, or a big crystal like this selenite sphere. Basically, you've got your rose quartz energy, or you've got your selenite energy, and you will get that energy whether it's a big crystal or a small crystal. And if you pay more for the crystal, if somebody tries to tell you, oh, you want that because that's better, that's a, you know, that's a better quality crystal than that one is, so that will give a better energy. Of course it won't. It absolutely won't. So in that respect, size doesn't matter. In another respect, if you want a crystal that you want the energy to be felt through the whole of your house, for example, or your office at work. For example, you might, black tourmaline's very good for keeping negative energies away from you and helping you with your own negative thoughts. So if you've got a bit of a toxic workplace, you might want to have a piece of black tourmaline in there. Now you could wear a tourmaline bracelet to keep yourself safe. But if you've got a decent sized piece of tourmaline somewhere in there, preferably near the entrance, so that everybody walking past it gets that energy from it, then you will find that it will project out more from a larger piece. But generally, as a general rule, don't worry about the piece. See what you're attracted to, because just as you're attracted to the kind of crystal that you need for on a particular day, you'll also be attracted to a particular shape that you might find more pleasing. Which moves us nicely on to the different shapes. What's the difference in shape? Again, if it's from a particular healing aspect, it doesn't matter what shape it is. It doesn't matter whether it's fresh out the ground, whether it's sculpted, whether it's small enough to slip into your pocket, or whether it's big and it needs to be displayed on a table. But yeah, there is a sort of general consensus that some shapes can be more effective with what you particularly want to do than others. So one shape that's quite common, we call it palm stone, or you might hear it called touchstone, and that's usually an oval or round one. I've got that one's labradorite, that one's tiger eye, and I've got a larkivite here, a larvikite, excuse me, larvikite. Right, so what's larvikite, you might say? I'm going to tell you. It's a crystal that's a new one on me. I spotted it on the website of my supplier the other day. So I thought, oh, I like the look of that. You see those lovely flashes you get? They call that labradorescence or the Schiller effect. You get that in labradorite as well, which is very similar to look at to larvikite. I've done it again. Larvikite. And it's caused by feldspar and potassium running through the rock. So yeah, so larvikite is named after the town in Norway where the biggest deposits are. It's because it's a sort of black, dark grey crystal. It's attached to your root chakra, and it's about grounding, protection. But it also works with your third eye. It helps you to know people better, helps your intuition to sort of know people better for what they are rather than what they put themselves across as. And the other thing that larvikite does is it helps you to see your past and see why things happen, which helps you accept and move on from them. So it's a very nice stone to have. And so palm stones, as you can see, they do sort of fit nicely in the palm. And when you close your hand over them, they do feel quite comforting. So they can help you to be more relaxed. You can pop them under your pillow and they'll help you to sleep. Use them in meditation to help you go deeper into your meditation to sort of empty your mind. So that's what palm stones are. Then we come on to points. So points and pyramids. Points on a crystal concentrate the energy and also help send it out into the atmosphere. So, for instance, if you're meditating and you want to release your limiting thoughts, release negativity, you could maybe hold this is snowflake obsidian pyramid. That would be good to hold in your hand and release that negativity out into the atmosphere. They're also people use them in Reiki because they concentrate the energy. This is an energy generator. It's got 7 stones for the chakras, all with points on the end and a pyramid in the middle. Again, that sort of really concentrates the energy, shifts it around, gets it where it needs to be. And then we've got these, what we call these double terminated points. That one's clear quartz, and the amethyst, and they're called double terminated because there's points on each end. And again, it's about concentrating the energy. And this is a opalite point as well. So that's sort of about concentrating the energy, getting it out. So you can send your own energy out as well. I mean, this rose quartz double terminated point, if you're sort of wanting to send healing and love out, you could use your rose quartz to do that. So then we've got spheres. The eggs. Sorry, we're doing eggs next. We're getting onto the spheres in a minute. I'm getting ahead of myself. So we've got, that's a rose quartz egg. So as you're probably already aware from Easter and Easter egg associations, eggs are all about renewal, rebirth, transformation. And if you're going through a bit of your own transformation, you might be drawn to an egg shape because it symbolises new beginnings, new starts, and growth, and new journeys, whether they're physical or spiritual journeys. And so, and if you can sort of, the associations of the shape, and every time you see that crystal, that's going to remind you of those associations. And we've also got spheres. Now, the sphere shape is all about harmony and balancing the energy, because it is sort of, however you turn that around, it's perfectly balanced, isn't it? It's round, it's perfectly balanced, no beginning or no end. It's just all about balance. And it reminds us, it reminds us of the earth, reminds us that we're part of something much bigger than ourselves. And if you've got a nice sphere in the home, or several, I mean, I've got 2 or 3 spheres dotted around the home, it helps create harmony in the home as well. So another form that we've got is clusters. You might hear these called geodes, druses. This one's an amethyst cluster, and you see where it's sort of catching the light there, that's all the little points on it. So we've got all those little points, and these are good to meditate. If you want to get really deep into the meditation, you sit with that cluster positioned in front of you, and then you can actually feel that energy coming off the amethyst. Of course, amethyst, very good for spiritual connection. It's connected to the crown chakra and the third eye, and that will intensify your meditation experience, and it will also sort of project that energy. That's why lots of people have the big amethyst cathedrals, on display, because you put that in the house and you feel that energy everywhere. So I think that's about it for now. Hang on, we haven't talked about the wands. So the final shape that I want to talk about that's quite common is the wand. This one's selenite. raw selenite. So one can be sort of about that size, or it can be that size, anything in between. They're really good for, you can stroke them through your aura to help smooth out your aura. Selenite's very good for anxiety, so if you are feeling particularly anxious, you can maybe hold that over your heart. Do a little bit of conscious breathing, you know, counting your breaths in and out, and that will help. I can just feel myself really calming. Not that I'm anxious. I enjoy doing these videos. I'm not particularly anxious, but I can just feel that calming on it. And I've got a really good story I must tell you just to close on. A friend of mine was really wound up about stuff going on at work, and even when he came round to us to relax, you know, a few of us together sitting having a drink, his foot's tapping, he's sort of stiff in the seat, he's not really part of. He looks like he's enjoying himself, but his body language is saying it else. Otherwise, it's saying, I can't relax, so therefore I can't fully enjoy myself. And I said, let me try and relax you. He said, well, good luck with that. So I got him, I had a bigger one than this. I got him to put his bare feet on it. And then I did some conscious breathing with him, showed him how to do conscious breathing. And it's basically you sort of breathe in for a count of 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it for 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale for 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I counted him through a couple of cycles of that to get the rhythm. Then I said, carry on with that in your own time. So after a couple of minutes, the head went to the side. We thought, oh, yeah, you are nicely relaxed. And then a few minutes later, we just left him to get on with it, basically. A few minutes later, Luna comes charging up, jumps all over him. And we thought, well, that's undone everything that we've just done now, because he'll wait with the start. Did he? Heck. He was just there away in his own little world, so we left him to it. And then after about 10-15 minutes, he sort of came to, and of course by then we're all laughing, aren't we? And he said, what are you not laughing at? We said, well, you've been spark out for about 15 minutes. Luna's jumped all over you, and that never disturbed you. He said, no, I haven't. He said, I might have nodded off for a few seconds. He said, but I feel so calm and relaxed. And yeah, so selenite coupled with the conscious breathing can bring a deep state of relaxation which will last. He said the next day he had the best night's sleep he'd had in ages. Right, I think I've trotted on for quite enough now. So I'll say bye-bye, love and blessings, and see you soon. Thank you. Bye.